Yeah. And those kids will remember that forever.
Oh, yeah.
But just so bad, like could have a broken back, a broken neck at death, right? And Newfield, we finally canceled it. I wasn't at that grad, but they'd had a bunch of injuries that they had to take to Chilliwack Hospital, like broken bones.
Oh, I think you told me that. And then this girl's like, "What the heck are you guys doing?"
The triage nurse.
Yeah.
He comes. It's like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
He comes around with a kid with a broken collarbone.
Yeah.
Stop. MEI?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I'm in charge.
He's the principal at that time?
Yeah. Oh my god. He was an awesome principal.
Yeah.
One of a kind.
I think we have 2 more questions.
Okay.
Oh boy. What strategies have been put in place to help students build social emotional competencies? This is in the context of COVID.
Social, emotional. Well, there hasn't been, I don't think. I'm not sure. Like, we have counselors and stuff, but well, we have a referral system, right? When we see students who are struggling emotionally or socially, we can bring them up to counselors, or we bring them up to something called the SRT, which is like just a body that kind of looks at that, like, oh, here's this kid, what's their family background going on, what's going on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if a kid's really struggling and we notice them, we can refer them to that, and then they get more involved, right? Excuse me, with the kid. Because, like, honestly, some kids come from horrible backgrounds, even at MEI.
Yeah.
And, less so than the public system. But it's still, like, you hear the stories and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, so we have those bodies where we can refer kids. As far as, like, classroom, not really, right? It's only if we see trouble spots,
right,
then we bring it. But as far as like holistic, no.
It's kind of just been the same as before, except with masks now.
Yeah. So I'm on gym supervision. We have to do supervision at lunch, and I have gym supervision, and so I was like, crap, gym. It's one of the supervisions that you can't skip.
Yeah.
Which in the past, if I had like, oh, you're lower halls, I would kind of cruise through. Okay, everything looks good. The kids are good, right?
Yeah.
But with gym, like, you can't. So I go there and like, you know what? It's 100% guys in here. This is really important. So I'm now bringing out the basketballs, and because like they've got to get this out. They're interacting with each other.
Right.
They're playing the game with each other, right?
Yeah.
They're laughing and doing something physical. Well, that's going to help the next class, right?
Yeah.
Because they've just been sitting all morning.
Right.
Now they've got a lunch. They've wolfed down their food. Now they're out there playing, having fun.
Yeah.
Right, with their peers.
Yeah.
Friends. Potential enemies. That's all important. And so I'm like, no, this has got to happen. So, yeah, I think that it's proactive rather than reactive. So I think that's really important. And they have lounges, so at breaks, beforehand, like I have grade 9s outside my room. Grade 9s are hardly human. They're just like little turdy animals. And honestly, but they're making all their horse noises or whatever. But it's annoying. I'm trying to work, but I'm like, this is important for them.
Yeah.
They should fool around and be idiots.
Yeah.
It's really important that they do that. And unless things are like getting damaged or whatever,
Hmm.
then I'll step in. But if they're like just good.
Yeah.
You need that, right? And so I think that's part of coming out of COVID is interacting.
Yeah.
And don't get me started with everybody not wearing masks and all that, but I like the fact that people are interacting.
Yeah.
So before school, after school, breaks, lunch, get the wigglies out. It's a way to get the wiggles out. Kind of idea.
Yeah. No, totally.
Yeah, and that's really important. It's an important part of their social and mental well-being.
Yeah. Last one. As a result of the current pandemic, do you foresee any permanent changes that may impact K-12 education from now on?
Like in education.
Yeah. You think it'll be permanent? Some of the.
I think there'll probably be potentially a push for. There's always been BC online learning.
Yeah.
Or not always, but that existed before the pandemic. Yeah, I can see that continuing. But I think what the pandemic has shown people is that in person is so much better.
Yeah.
And so I don't think you're going to see like an increase in people going online. I think if anything, it shows them that, man, I really don't want that, so I'll go to school. Oh, it's like university. Like, who wants to do online or distance or whatever compared to in class?
Well,
not many.
Yeah, we're going back to online next semester.
What?
Yeah. All the courses on the timetable are